Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy
Hello.
Sunday to everybody. Here we are. Glad to see everybody here today. Today we've got a bunch of stuff that we're going to be sharing with you. We've got a few projects that I've been working on. Steve has got a few projects he's been working on. Patrick's got a few projects that he's been working on. It's going to be a exciting show today, and we're glad you're all here. I just want to say hi real quick to a few of the people that are here already. You got Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Thanks so much. We were just talking about you, by the way. I'm going to be sending you something in the mail. Chicago Bob, Charles, Merrill. Hi, Merrill. Wendy Phillips. That's Wendy. Army Dogs, of course, is here. Let's see. Who else is here? Timo.
Redneck Jack.
Jack in the shop. Yeah, all the regulars are here. We're glad to see that. We're glad to see that we're building a regular base. Hi, Bob. Good to see you too. Today we're going to be doing a couple of giveaways, and for me, it's going to be this project that my wife specifically asked for. We had our bathroom remodeled while she was away, and she just came back this Wednesday from her Asia tour, and I have a whole new bathroom for her. And she asked specifically, don't ask me why, because we don't have this theme anywhere in the house, a farmhouse theme, animals, trees, mountains, and I don't know why, but I made this for her, and this is 5 layers. It's completely original. I designed the whole thing myself. You won't find any of these graphics anywhere. These are all hand designed, 5 different layers. And I discovered something new too, that the little twist tie holders that you see on there, that top one works perfectly for a picture frame holder. And then the bottom ones are standoffs from the wall. And this looks absolutely wonderful on the wall. And today, what I'm going to be giving away are flat packs. So in today's spin of the wheel, we're going to have flat packs. So for anybody that donates any amount of money, it doesn't matter what it is, $1, $5, $10, you're going to get a flat pack of this design. So I'm going to have all of the pieces. You paint them yourself. You glue them together. And you can have one of these as well. And you can resize it to any size that you want. This was the size I wanted for the bathroom. So that is my first project for today. Steve, let's see your project that you were just showing us. Now, this one is a work in progress, that jewelry box. I just love it.
All right. Well, this is all week been designing this. It's actually three drawers, and then the top will be a hinged lid. I don't have the hinge attached yet, so I have to take her down and bring her closer to the camera. But she'll be a hinged lid, engraved surface on the top, 3 drawers, following the golden ratio.
I love that.
Sliding drawers that they'll
explain to everybody what the golden ratio is.
Well, you see it and you don't realize what you're looking at. But the first attempt I made at making one of these, I'm crazy about wanting things symmetrical. And so the first box I did, it's a 3-drawer box, but every drawer is the same size. And then the top lid was just too large, and it looked like a Borg, from Star Trek instead of a jewelry box. So a friend of mine said, "Yeah, you got to follow the golden ratio." And then I'm like, "Okay." They explained it, and the drawers reduce in size by the value of 1 point, and I just rounded it to 1.62. So if you look here now, instead of all the drawers being the same size, and it even starts with the very top up here, these two are the same, but
right
from here to here to here, it graduates by a value of 1.62, getting larger by that amount with each step up. And that looks so much more pleasing. And then also by having the larger box at the bottom, it's weighted, and this is where the ladies can put their watches, their bracelets, their bangles, anything that's larger
Right.
than rings, earrings can go here. I have several different organizers and trays that all have different uses, but by using that golden ratio keeps all the bigger items at the bottom, makes the thing more stable, and it just looks better.
Wow.
So this is
really nice.
This is a
Let me see
complete.
show us the lid. I really like what you did on top of the lid too.
Let's see. Here's the lid. Now the lid. This is Rich's artwork here.
That's beautiful. Came out nice.
But the border is something that I created using just LightBurn and the array tool to set up that nonstop border, and that turned out really nice too. And then the little fingertips to grab the lid and lift the lid up.
So we've got
nice.
we've got a guest that just popped into the green room, and that is Geo with Maker Theory. Let's bring Geo in real quick. Hey, Geo.
Hey, how's it going?
And it's going well today.
Hello.
Thanks for stopping in.
Oh, thanks for
Okay,
inviting
so
me.
we've got a bunch of stuff to cover today, and so let's start with, like I said earlier, the flat pack. A flat pack is basically just pieces. I've got a few of them here already that I've started cutting out, and what you would get in the mail is going to be the same thing that I did, except not painted. So you get all 5 layers, all 5 of the layers. And like I said, every layer here was designed by me. You won't find any of these on the internet anywhere. Each layer has its own, and this is very delicate too. You can see some of the trees and things. Very delicate. So you have to have a good focus. If you don't have a good focus, this one is just a spacer. And you can see the grass is also very delicate. So all of these things are all hand drawn on my tablet. I have a pressure tablet, and you'll get the flat pack, which is all of these. So we're going to do at the end, we'll do the spin of the wheel for anybody that donates anything today, and you will get the flat pack for this. And I think I'm going to do, I think today we're going to do, based on how many people we get, up to 5 of those flat packs. So we'll have up to 5 winners on that. I'm also posting a project soon. It's not completely done yet, and I'm always late for the holidays, so it'll be good for next holiday. But I got a little Easter man that's also 5 layers. I've only got 3 done so far. It's an Easter face. It'll be all it'll be a whole face when it's done. It's a really cool project. So I'm going to post that one for free on the Laser Makers Realm blog. The guy that was here, the crew chief on the bathroom remodel, came into the shop and he saw this project that's already up. And so he asked me to make him one, and I'm almost done with it. You can't see on the camera, but inside the words there, that's actually a sparkling. It's silver. Let me see if I have it here. Yeah, I still have it here. This is what's called rub and buff paint, and this is the silver color. And sometimes I use it on wood, and it's really sparkly in person, but you can't really see it on this camera because first off, it's not glued together yet, but it really gives it a nice look in person. It's like a 3D look. So I made this for him. I've been working on coaster boxes. So I've got a bunch of them back there. Let me switch over to the other spot. There we go. Got a bunch of them back there, different sizes for 8 coasters. For now, I know that some coasters come in 9, so I've got sizes for 8, 9, and 4. And let me grab one real quick. So this is the 4, and I've done these in different sized wood as well. There's just a little bit of play in here, but you can grab them, easily with the slots. that are in the side, and I decided to go with a flat bottom. The original one design that I started, I had a recessed bottom, but I decided that the joints look better like this. So, and I happen to like the burned edges. I know a lot of people don't. If you don't like the burned edges, you can do the resize slots and tabs. In my design, it actually works. So if you download the file, you can resize the slots and tabs to 2 millimeters larger and then sand them off, and then you'll have a clean side. But I prefer to have the burnt edges. So I've got them in all different sizes. Those are going to be also up on the Laser Makers Realm blog, lasermakersrealm.com. That'll be a free download where you can download any size that you need. I did 3 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter, and I don't think you should go any bigger than 6 millimeter. 6 millimeter is pretty beefy and does the job well. I also did some bench dogs, or actually these are honeycomb dogs. These are custom size for a buddy of mine down the block that's got a Thunder Laser. So this is custom size for the Thunder Laser. I did some for the GWiki as well. Let me show you that real quick. So that is the GWiki. That is a 50 watt CO2 that I got this week. And it's 12 by 24. Really, really nice, superb laser. If you don't know GWiki, they are GWiki is the largest, oldest manufacturer of commercial lasers in the world, and they make sheet lasers for industry that 50 feet long and 20 feet wide that can cut half-inch steel. So they and everything in between. So recently, they've gotten about 3 years ago, they got into the hobby laser market. And they looked at the Glowforge and they made it much better. And it's worlds above the Glowforge. It connects to LightBurn. It's just a top of the line machine at half the price of the Glowforge. So, that they sent me one, and I'll do a review on my laser review channel. I'm not going to do it on the LA Hobby Guy. I'll do it on the laser review channel, which is coming soon, where I'm going to have nothing but laser reviews. So I also did. I have a gift that I have to give tonight. So I did one of Steve's gift cards, card boxes.
Those have been real popular.
Yeah, I mean, super, super nice. I love it. So I'm going to give a gift card tonight. And I did of course, my logo on the back, which you probably can't read. Let's see if this will zoom in. It's probably too close.
That's focusing on you.
Yeah. Oh, let me move it over. Nope, it won't zoom in. But I did this on the Rolly, and that's 0.5 millimeter text on the bottom. And it is clear as day. I mean, I have to put on my glasses and kind of find the focus, but yep, there it is, 0.5 millimeter. I mean, it came out beautiful. So I made this as a gift card for today. I also had a request from a friend of mine for his hunting camp for some coasters, because they have a glass table in there. So I did some deer coasters for him. I did these also on the Rolly. Oh, I can't get a good shot of that. That is also my own design. I actually drew this about 4 years ago on the tablet. And I've been working with plywood, dialing in some more settings. I actually did this 2 weeks ago for the Rolly, and I did a bunch of different settings and had some interesting effects. So this one is grayscale photograph. This is my wife. So that's grayscale. And then I did Atkinson. Atkinson came out really nice. I got to cover my face. And then I did, these are all the same, just changing modes. Then I did Dither. You see that Dither came out pretty good. And we're going to get to the point here in a second. This one is Jarvis. These all came out pretty good. This is halftone, which is something that I don't use a lot, but it came out nice. And then I made a discovery that you shouldn't be using plywood for photographs. So then I got a piece of maple. This is 6 millimeter maple, and I did it on maple. and you can see the difference.
A lot clearer.
Yeah, a
Now
lot more detail.
that is just dropped in to LightBurn with nothing, no image adjustments whatsoever.
What wood is
So
that?
this is maple.
Maple. Okay.
Yeah. So this is maple, and this is 12,000 millimeters per minute, 95% power Atkinson is the mode. And I found out that testing some other woods, I had the tent garage while they were putting the extension onto the building here, and they finally got that finished. So I've been going through some of all the crates that we've got in there. We've got these red crates filled with stuff all over the place. And I found some stuff, one crate filled with things from when I was a wood turner. So,
pen blanks.
I've got mahogany. I found maple blanks, and I've got these boards as well. Let's see, what is this one? I just found a whole bunch of new woods. This one is the wood from Mexico. This is the Jatoba. Got a bunch of these Jatoba. Jatoba is like one of the best engraving woods that there is. And if you don't know what Jatoba is, it's Catalox, comes from the Mexican peninsula. It's one of the finest engraving woods that there is. And I also found some bloodwood. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And I've got all of the 9-foot boards that go with all of these. These I cut down into pen blanks when I was turning pens years ago. I completely forgot about them, and I've got a whole bunch more than just that. I've got some. I'm not even going to get into that. But now I can go. Even though these are small, I'm going to glue them back together because they're all ripped from the same board, and I'm going to do testing on that, cut tests, engrave tests, image tests, and expand the library for the Rolly, the 10-watt library. If you don't know about that, if you're a Lasermatic 10 owner, you get that library for free, which has hundreds of proven, tested settings in it. If you're not, you can go to my store. If you're not an owner, you can go to my store, engravingcutfiles.com. I'm selling that for $7.99 with one. Until the end of the year, it's going to be updated. Every time I update it, there'll be a new version, and all you have to do is log into my account, and the new version will be in your account if you purchase it. So I'm going to try and update it every month with the new woods that I have all the way up until January 1st of next year. So that's a good buy. It is the most extensive LightBurn library for a 10-watt diode laser in the world. Nobody else has anything even close. So if you want to take a look at that, it is over on engraveandcutfiles.com. So I don't want to dominate the whole stream here. Patrick, what do you have going today?
Let's see. I did the little Easter bunny.
I want to see that slate.
So
go ahead.
Of course, I did that. That's up on LaserMakersRealm. It's a four
Nice.
pieces, three layer little egg
Patrick
project.
is
for the
in
kids.
time for Easter, unlike me. He's in time for Easter. I always miss the holiday.
All right, I was working with LightBurn 3D Slice and attempting to do some custom slates.
Yeah, that I want to see. Look at that.
You
This
said
turned out really good.
LightBurn 3D Slice.
That is awesome. That's on the fiber laser, right, Patrick?
Yep, that's fiber.
Is
Then
that
I
the
have
50
another
watt?
one. Yeah, that was a 50-watt Racus. Then, let me see. There we go. Now we're back. There's another one. It's the West Virginia State Seal. So I'm going to.
Merrill Walnut's coming soon, and Monkey Pod will be next month in the library.
And then I started working with mirrors. So I designed a little mirror frame for a 4-inch mirror. So this is a 4-inch mirror. And then I engraved a rose.
Beautiful. That really, you got to see the pictures on this one because you can't really see it. But I mean, that really came out gorgeous. I especially love the frame.
I've got you hooked up with pictures right here.
Oh, there we go.
So there you see it's still a mirror.
Yep. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Now
detail is
that's just
incredible.
engraving off the back side and then painting it with red paint, right, Patrick?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's a good image there. That looks
So-
3D.
That's beautiful. That
Yeah.
is beautiful.
It's
That is
very,
beautiful.
very cool. I
I
ended
love
up
the
giving
frame
that.
too.
Yep. So I made a little frame for it, and then let's see, I did the Mandalorian as well.
That's my favorite.
Oh, I put him over here.
Oh, that came out nice.
Let me get out of the light.
That
Yeah,
is
we
really
can see
cool.
that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Then the back's painted white so that the detail
Yeah,
helps shine through.
beautiful.
A little bit.
We got a lot going on this week, folks.
Then I also did the Mandalorian on aluminum.
Nice.
I was pretty happy with photo on aluminum. So that's most of what I've been working on.
And
This
I have not downloaded your project yet, but I did my first layered design last night at 2:00 in the morning. And
Yeah.
that was actually a lot of fun to do. So I'm going to download your project file. And if any of you guys have not worked with layered projects and you got grandkids or little ones in the house, now is the perfect opportunity to download that file from Patrick, because these are a lot of fun. With the price of eggs now, it's cheaper to make them out of wood and paint them up instead of buying a dozen and dyeing them and then hide them. Yeah, do Patrick's design. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, like on this one, I just put the Moore family. I'm going to have my my son paint this one up, so this one will be ours to keep as a little memento.
You know, the painting is the fun part with kids.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
we make the files and we show them, a picture of like someone that's something else someone else did, they can look at it to get an idea and paint it themselves. That's lots of fun, like with watercolors or water paints or whatever. They have fun doing that.
Yeah, my kids love painting stuff.
So I wanted to answer something. Jack in the shop is here. So I saw your live, the beginning of your live. The problems you were having was you had the canvas too close to the left side. I posted in your chat there in your live. If you just scoot that canvas over about an inch or so, you'll be okay. The laser will work. What was happening is when you do an image in LightBurn, you can't put that canvas up against the left side because it's going to overscan that image and it's going to have a hard stop. It's going to hit the hard stop. So if you just scoot that canvas over by about an inch or two and then reframe and rerun the job, you'll have no problem with that. The laser will keep working. It was not your computer. It was the position where you had the where you had the canvas on the laser itself.
I've seen overscanning be a little bit of an issue on a couple different projects for people.
Yes, and people don't understand, even though you don't have the ability to set the overscan on a CO2, the Rarita controller or the controllers themselves will automatically overscan an image. So you can't put something into the top left corner that's an image and do the entire the entire workpiece, because you will hit the hard stop on the left side. So you just got to scoot it over a little bit. Hey, Jim, glad to see you here. Hi, Marty. What's a good source for 1/8 inch plywood? Well, interesting enough, scrap wood. I got this. I cut up the the box that the GWiki CO2 came in, and it turns out that one side of it, one layer, is really nice plywood. 3 layers, nice piece of wood. But a good source for me is I usually go to Lowe's, and if you develop a relationship with the manager of the department, the wood department, I think they're called department managers, they will actually order anything that you want. So they also regularly stock 1/8 inch plywood, and you can have them order. They stock BB grade. but you can have them order AA grade for you, and that'll come in with their next shipment, and they'll actually rip that down. Now, they'll rip it down for you. I don't suggest that you do that. I suggest that you use your own saw. If you have a good blade, if you have a good finish blade on your circular saw, your table saw, whatever, that's what I suggest. You do it yourself, because their blades are construction, they're framing blades, and they tear up the edges. So, but they will rip it down for you to the size of your laser bed if you want. And I think it's 25 cents a cut is what they charge. This guy doesn't charge me anything at all. So what he does, I usually get 3 sheets, 4x8 sheets at one time, and they just put them all onto the cutter and clamp them together, and they rip them to size all at once. And he doesn't charge me anything for the cuts, but if they do, have them rip them all together, and 25 cents a cut is, I think, their regular price. So I go to Lowe's for that. If there's no Lowe's in your area, you can try cabinet makers. That's another source that I have in New Orleans. I have a cabinet maker there. He can order me any wood that I want in a ply or a solid 4x8 sheet, and he rips it down for me for free as well. He charges me an extra few dollars a sheet, like an extra $8 or $9 a sheet, but he gets it at wholesale, so it's still cheaper than buying it at Lowe's. So if you're looking for like quality plywood, double A Baltic birch or something like that, you might try a cabinet maker. If you're looking for, you can also get double A from Lowe's on special order, but that usually takes about a month. They usually stock BB, so I find BB works well for almost everything.
Before we jump too far down into questions, I was going to start up there at the top, and I hadn't talked about my project I uploaded yet either. And that ties in. Wendy's one of her first comments, and just the comments over there. She mentions these are the coffee cup gift card holders. This is the project that I uploaded on the LMR this week. It's 3 layers, and it's designed to hold a gift card. And you can do this for yourself and use it to give gift cards away for coffee shops. But what I do locally, and Jack, don't start this because he's local and you got to stay out of the coffee shops with this. I've got deals with a few of the local coffee shops, and they are do it to a couple different ways. I take these in and put them out there on consignment. We sell them at $5 a piece. And if the coffee shop has the really nice laminate gift cards, reloadable stuff like that, they'll pay up to $1 or more for the gift cards. So I tell them keep their cost of their gift cards out of that $5, and now I've got $4. They have nothing invested, and they get their cost of their card back, and it increases their gift card sales. And they love gift card sales because there's also a large percentage of gift cards that never come back, so it's free money for the shop owner. And the other approach I've got is if they don't want to do consignment, I'll sell them to them for $2.50 a piece. They sell them for $5. They get their buck back on to cover their gift card expense, and they make another $1.50 of additional profit on a gift card that may not come back. So if you've got a laser and looking for something to do to generate some revenue, you got a couple of mom and pop coffee shops in your neighborhood, this is a good opportunity, and there's a couple of good ways to take them out. And Wendy's right. These do sell like crazy. You can do all kinds of different engravings and sayings. I've got mom sayings. I've got teacher sayings for Teacher Appreciation Day, Pastor Appreciation Day. You name it. It's sky's the limit. But
that's a great little gig.
Yeah, Wendy mentioned that, and yes, they do well. So, and you covered Jack and his issue with the canvas. And I just wanted to in our last live stream, we gave away one of my purses, and I think it goes by Carl. On here it says Merrill, but I think our dialogue, he likes Carl. He received that. Thank you for your donations last week. I'm glad that showed up undamaged. I was nervous as a cat in a room full of rock beer getting that thing down there. So thank you. And then we were talking about the golden ratio a minute ago, and Jack in the shop asked 1.62%? ? Yeah. it's not percentage. It's just whatever the value is of the height of this drawer, multiply it times 1.62 or add 62% to it. So 1.62 is adding 62%. So the height of this one times 1.62 is 62% larger for the bottom one. And then the golden ratio is actually 1.63 something. I just rounded it to 1.62. And a funny thing, if you're trying to figure out what to sell your product for in retail, you take your cost of goods and multiply it times 162, 163, and that gives you about a 40% gross profit, which is ideal for retail. So that golden ratio comes into play in all kinds of areas. So that 1.62 number is a good one to hold on to. Who else we got in here?
Patrick, check the private chat.
Let's see.
Theo, what's going on with you this week?
Started working on this beast here.
Wow,
Look
at that. What's the size?
It's cuts 4x8. So
4 foot. Oh, so
foot.
it's a sheet laser.
Yes.
Very nice.
80 watt. It's from a company, Build Your Own CNC, and I bought it used, and it's got a few things that I need to get updated on it. So
is it a used working piece? Is it working?
It's mostly working. Just before I ended up buying it, the person that was using it, the beam got out of alignment, and I got to the end of the sheet and ended up melting one of the brackets because the brackets are acrylic. And so I got to replace one of the brackets, and then it should be working.
That's not, that's not a bad thing, having the bracket being acrylic. That way the beam didn't reflect off of it.
Exactly.
That could have been a disaster. I watched a guy on YouTube last year adjusting his mirrors. He was teaching people how to adjust his mirrors, and he's in his garage. CO2 he's in front of the CO2. Behind him is a fiberglass boat, and he's saying, well, I'm pulsing, but nothing's happening. Pulse. Nothing's hitting the tape. And meanwhile, it was hitting the boat.
Oh,
and it put a hole in his boat behind him. He discovered that after a couple minutes. It was kind of funny. So I guess it's a good thing that it was acrylic. You might want to replace it with acrylic.
Yeah, I'm going to. I can cut it on my small CO2 and replace it that way. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but you can see here where the beam was starting to get off alignment on the head.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You see that little light spot there. There's a couple others that aren't really showing up on the camera, but I'm not sure if it actually hit that piece of acrylic or if it hit this head and heated this head up so much that the acrylic just melted and the head just kind of fell off.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And backing up just a little bit, you were talking about Jack in the shop having issues, and you suggested he move his canvas. He says he did move it, and it's still locking up. One thing, Jack, that I've had encountered with another person, it's still having to do with that overscanning. Depending on the speed that you're using your laser, how much you're trying or how fast you're trying to do. The faster you go, the more travel is the computer is asking for that overscanning. So if you slowed it down a little or reduced your overscanning, you might find that you have less of an issue. Just see if that'll do any fix for you.
Okay, so, Jesse is asking, when is Rolly releasing more machines? They're completely sold out. They've broken down the wall and expanded out into the next building next to them. They've hired some new employees that are being trained. They're taking it slow because they're not going to rush the production on the models because of the quality control and the training that's going on. And they're going to release now. They've done the pre-order thing, so their release for March is already sold out. They did the pre-order for February, March, and April. All 3 months are already sold out. So now May they're going to be full stock on Amazon, where you can just go on Amazon and order one. So May 1st is the projected date to be fully in stock on Amazon. And also during the month of May, they're going to be developing the 20 watt, and that should be ready sometime either in May or by June 1st. And in July, they will be also releasing the 40 watt diode laser. So I'm very happy with the 10 watt. I think Leo's going to be sending me a version of the 20 and the 40 to be tested. I don't know that for sure yet, but the 20 and the 40 watt are in R&D right now and should be out sometime between June and July. So that answers that question for Jesse. Thank you for being here, Jesse, by the way. Larry. Oh, Larry. Hi, Larry. It's okay if you're late. No problem. Let's see.
You had a couple of coasters up there a minute ago, Patrick. Personalized Twist is asking if you could recommend a product to seal coasters against heat or liquid stains.
Yeah, I replied. I've typically used the Rust-Oleum Ultra 2X Clear, and I've used Valspar Clear in the past. I've used the Rust-Oleum Clear enamel before, but I've had it turned white. So just play around with the clear coats, but any of those should be sufficient.
What I use, so this was another request from the wife. She wanted something to put on as a centerpiece on the table, and I use, this one is finished, and I use Zinsser shellac. So you may not be able to see it very well from that, but the one that I showed you earlier, this is my buddy for his hunting camp. There you can see the finish on it. That's Zinsser shellac. And what I found is, now I've got some coasters that are 4 years old that I've done with Zinsser. It's a beautiful finish, and it doesn't yellow, it doesn't scrape off, and it doesn't peel, especially like on the slate and on the wood. I found that other finishes do peel and yellow, so I stick to the Zinsser brand only shellac.
Now,
And
this one's
there's
interesting.
Is that shellac?
No, this is actually the walrus oil that I like to use on wood. I wanted to see how the oil would do on the coaster, and it looks really cool. It's been sitting for a few days.
Yeah.
How durable it will be, I don't know, but this is going to be a decoration piece, not actually in use. So, but that's what oil looks like on a slate coaster.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, it looks just like the shellac. And let me see, because I've got my finishing table is far away from here. But let's see. Let me get two of these so I can show you. I also do the slate coasters with oil and wax. So the wax is a little harder to do, but typically I use my own beeswax. This is a brand that I bought because I haven't baked any in a while. I usually take beeswax and cutting board oil, put them in a crock pot. I have a special crock pot, and mix it all together, and then I pour it into little tins. So I had 80 of them made, but I give those away with cutting boards. So I ran out and I wound up buying that one. And this is what Patrick is talking about. Let me switch over here real quick. And Patrick is talking about wood wax. So there's two types of walrus oil. You can buy the oil or you can buy the wax. I prefer the wax because it's much easier to use. So it's an actual wax. And it applies easier than the oil does. But this is the oil made into a wax. So it's the same thing that he's talking about. I also wanted to show you real quick what I made this morning. I'm putting together some lasers. Oh, and I have an update about that battle of the 40 watts. So this morning, I decided to make a box that has angled sides in it, as you can see there. And this, again, is from the crate that the new laser came in. And the reason why it's got the angled sides is because when I put a screw into now this is for small parts. When I put a screw into a box, I can't never pick it up again. So now I can just swipe it out of the corner and get it right out. So I made this morning. I'll post this file up on the Laser Makers Realm this week for you. And this will make life a lot easier with your small parts, especially when you're working on things like 3D printers and things like that. So that's another thing that I have going on in the works right now. I have a whole bunch of new files that I'll be posting soon. Things have been very busy around here, so haven't been too active because while my wife was away, we had all of that remodeling going on inside the house. We had the extension going on the side of this building for storage and just a whole bunch of other things, projects here at the house that were taking precedence to everything else. But I spent every other moment out here doing testing. I've created 2 new libraries and blah, blah, blah. But now I'm going to start getting back into the file making and sharing them with you guys. And you're going to see some of those videos pop up on my YouTube as well.
All right, back to our comments and questions.
Sorry,
Chad,
Steve.
it's all good. Hey, it's what we're here for. But I do want to try and address as many questions that people have. I feel like a lot of them, that's why they're here.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a Q&A.
So Chad's asking, when doing material test in LightBurn, is it possible to adjust other parameters, meaning the words, speed and power, and the numbers? And Chad, that is not editable. But if you're not already going to LightBurn's forum, that is a great place to go, and you can search these questions, and they actually have the opportunity. If you don't see your question already being asked, you can put in a question or a suggestion, but you'll be surprised at how many times you'll see something that you wish they had. There's already been a number of people that have done the same thing, and you get to vote. And the more people that vote that want to say, hey, I want to see this, that's going to get their attention and add that to the next version. So go onto the LightBurn forum, and you'll probably see this brought up, because I would like to see the ability to put a field down on that test grid of what the product is. Like whenever I do a test grid for the Baltic birch here, I have to do my whole test grid and then go back and burn in what the material was. So I'd like to be able to see that setting set in there when you create that test burn. So LightBurn forums, go check that out.
And people, if you don't know, you see Wendy commenting in the comments. Wendy is a part of the staff, and she watches the comments and replies to people. Thank you too, Wendy, for being here and replying. And we were talking about you before the stream, and we're going to be sending some gifts your way. So as a thank you for helping us out here. Thank you so much. Jim is saying that he uses the polyurethane, the Minwax semi-gloss on the slate and on the wood. And I also do, let me see. I also use that. I use the Minwax polycrylic, and I use the Valspar. I use the Valspar high gloss enamel on some things that looks really, really nice. And that's about it. No, I have the, what is that one? I don't have any more of it right now. The triple gloss. Who's the manufacturer on that one? I can't remember now. They have it at Home Depot. I don't know why I don't have any left. But who's the one you mentioned earlier, Patrick? The big brand of spray paint that everybody uses.
Rust-Oleum.
Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum has a product called Triple Gloss, and it is absolutely incredible. I mean, that really, really looks nice when you need something that's a gloss.
Chicago Bob mentioned that he makes boxes for his tiles as well, for his coasters, but he actually makes them with a slide over top and engraves that an image on that top of the box. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then
would Rich's little holder fit inside your box drawers? Maybe the two files could work together. Maybe. Steve will probably swipe this file. I think she's talking about this one. Oops, the one with the slanted
the
edges.
jewelry box.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make this thing. This is just a mock-up, so it's looking pretty good. But it's just a mock-up. I'm planning on trying to make it as not. And my problem is, I like to overbuild. I like to make really nice things, and then nobody can afford them. Nobody wants to spend the money for them. So I end up with a bunch of stuff laying around that nobody wants.
Hi, Jerry. Jerry from 3DHP. I'm sorry I missed your stream yesterday, Jerry. I had too much going on, and I had support calls to make and special dinner with my wife last night, and had to get everything done early. Sorry I missed that stream. Good to see you here.
Moondog asked about using the array tool in LightBurn. Is there a way that in doing a clock face that you can use the array tool and so the numbers change automatically? And I've got a video, Moondog, out there. It's an older one that I used variable text and an array to do just that. But it was a little bit aggravating because if I remember correctly, it still had to go in and change something because of the way it wants to start. But I've got a video out there showing using variable text and the array tool that you might search on my channel and see if that's any help to you. Yeah,
no, that's actually pretty easy to do with the array. And that's the way to do it, variable text.
Let's see, moving down.
Yeah, I really enjoy the CAD tools that LightBurn's incorporated into their software. I mean, it's stuff that I use on a daily basis doing 2D CAD.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see that stuff in there.
And in case you don't know, or people out there don't know and they're interested in LightBurn, the LightBurn experience has just been announced. So Jason is setting up a convention, I guess. Maybe LightBurn Con. I don't know. It's going to be in Peoria, Illinois, October 27th to the 29th. And I think they're also changing their name to LBX. So we're going to see. They're going to be announcing CNC support, which it basically already has. But right now there's only one toolpath. But they're going to be announcing the CNC support in October, and I know that LightBurn is going to be they're going to be branching out. They're going to dominate anything CNC, 3D printers and everything in the future. So I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait to see the LightBurn experience. In fact, I think I might travel up to Peoria if my schedule allows it for that convention.
I'm already talking to the wife to get approval for it. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah.
Okay. Not your
be
wife.
very
I'm talking to my
careful
wife.
with a material test on canvas. I had a fire today. Yeah, Jack, that canvas is a material you need to be super careful with, just because it's a dried material. So yeah, you want to be very careful with that. Could be bad if left on a dirty honeycomb. Yeah, absolutely. And Gary is saying that he wants to take time to say thank you for all you do. Oh, well, that's our pleasure. This is our hobby. We enjoy doing it. You're most welcome, Gary. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Jerry, hang on one second. Jerry, would you like to join us?
Sorry, guys. My dog said she had to go outside.
That's no problem at all. Jerry, are you there? Well, I'm going to wait for you to answer before I send you an invite. Okay, so remember, people, today, any donation that's made to the channel, you're going to get the flat pack of an original design that I just did this week. And let me change the camera here. So this is the flat pack right here. It's 5 layers. It's all custom designed. It's original design. First time you've ever seen it anywhere. And let me show you what the final, and I have a bunch of them made. So depending on how many donations we get today, will determine how many I give away. And here is the final product. Well, my interpretation of the final product, I'm not great when it comes to picking colors and painting, but this was a special request from my wife for our new bathroom wall. So I will be giving away multiple copies of the flat pack, which means that you'll get the cut files in the mail, and you can color them any way that you want and glue them all together and wind up with that beautiful final product.
And do you mind if I announce my new website?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, in fact, go ahead. We want to hear about that.
It is in its infancy, to say
Now,
the least.
now, hold on. Everybody, get a pencil out because this one is going to be very hard to remember. Go ahead.
Really difficult, long, but I'm creating my website where I can post. I'll share the videos just as I do with YouTube, get more exposure out there. But I'm putting all of my cut files. I'm trying to get them away from Etsy and onto my channel, which is going to be ready. Hobo with Wood. HoboWithWood.com. That's it. HoboWithWood.com. And there are a few files out there now. I'm trying to add 2 or 3 a week. That those will be on there for sale. I'll probably have some free ones on there periodically as well. So if you haven't become a patron on Patreon and had access to all these free files, but you would like to say, you know what, I wouldn't mind having that, but I don't want to sign up and support you. I don't want to adopt you. Well, then maybe you can buy a file every once in a while and help me out that way. But HoboWithWood.com, it's just started. I just launched it in the past week and slowly but surely getting it built up. And hopefully that's just going to grow big time. And I'm going to, once I get this jewelry box really dialed in, that will be put out there as a file. And this is a really elaborate build, but it can be done on a 10-watt diode. When I do my designs, I try to design in mind with you. Rich, you mentioned about processing wood yourself. Well, a lot of us broke SOBs out there, we don't have the ability to have a nice wood shop. So I have to buy most of my stuff ready to use. And in most cases, you'll find it's 300 by 300 or about a foot by foot that you're going to put on the bed of the diode. And so when I create my projects, I try to keep everything so it'll fit at least in a 12 by 12 square. So you're not having to do any, cutting prints or shifting stuff around. You can just cut it out of one 12 by 12 tile. But that'll be on there once I get it dialed in. And also everything I design will be tested and tried, and you'll be able to scale it and use the resizing slots and tabs without any problem to use it with any material you have on hand. I won't put anything out there that I haven't tried myself, and you won't have to worry about anybody saying, hey, you stole that from me. No, everything I've got out there is going to be 100% original, and my stuff is, whether you buy it for personal use or if you buy this file for whatever price I put on it and you go in production, you start selling these things yourself, and you're selling them for $100, $200 a piece, hey, go for it. Have fun. If you make $500,000 selling my jewelry boxes, maybe you'll just remember me on my birthday. I don't know. But HoboWithWood.com, it's locked. It's a slow server. I found that once it loads the first time, then it loads pretty quick every time after that. But be patient with it and check it out and help a guy out.
Nice. I had the sorry guys, I popped out there for a minute. I had the blue screen of death.
Oh, nice.
I do have one thing I want to mention on this stream before I forget and before we end it. But basically, what I have is, let me switch cameras. This is a K-bar that I engrave. It is the Woody Williams edition K-bar, celebrating the
Wow.
Battle of Iwo Jima and his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Wow, that is beautiful.
And let's see, here's side 2.
Holy
But the
cow.
proceeds benefit the West Virginia VFW and the Woody Williams Foundation. So these are for the nonprofit, they're making for the VFW. So the K-bar is engraved on both sides. The sheath is engraved with the Medal of Honor. I add that on there. And then I also do, now you'll see the VFW website. I manage their little mini site here. And so it has, my promo video for it that's on my channel. And then the 3 different options. So the top one, it comes with a certificate of authenticity and a large plaque knife display. And then the middle one is a small display. And then the bottom one is the knife only. But I'll post that link out there in the comments for everybody to check out and share.
Yeah, don't forget to
VFW
like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff.
And Woody Williams Foundation.
And I know some of you guys are not subscribed already and haven't liked the video. Please do that now. That helps us to get a larger audience, and that'll help us to bring more products to you. So if you're not subscribed, do it now. I noticed our subscriber count hasn't changed very much in the last month. So
yeah, share that. Yeah, share it.
Just copy the link up at the top and share it on your social media. We want to get as many subscribers as we possibly can so that we can help as many people as we can. And we still have a half hour left in the broadcast today. So any questions that you all have, this is supposed to be a Q&A. And then, of course, we tell you what we've been doing this week and what's coming to the blog and, the groups. So, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because that's what we're here for today.
The one thing that I didn't mention to either of y'all, and I've not done this very much, is say share screen. And if I want to share my, there we go, share that. Okay, share. And no, that won't work either. I was trying to figure out how to show you a picture.
Uh-oh.
Well, I just had that happen to me. I got the blue screen of death on my computer and it restarted. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. So Steve is gone, but he'll be back. There he is.
Like I said, I ain't done this much, but I designed an earring stand for retail purposes. Yeah. Hey, I mess with woods, not computers. I designed an earring stand for retail. And the video for this, I think it was on Laser Makers Realm. I mentioned when you cut this piece out, there was a large piece of waste right here, and this while you got this on the laser and you're cutting it out, that's the time to go ahead and put in an image here. I cut earrings out of this. I didn't think about it until I had already cut out about 12 of them.
But I do all my honeycomb dogs with the waste. Yeah,
that's another good use for them. But I've got earrings galore, so I've created an earring stand that I've also got in one of the local coffee shops. So I'm selling the earrings at $10 a pop for the pair out of waste material. So good use of waste.
I don't sell the earrings, but I do make them for a woman that sells them at a flea market.
Yeah.
So I make a lot of her earrings out of waste material. So that is like the best. I make earrings and I make honeycomb dog pins. And so if you guys don't know what a dog is, these are some custom pins that my neighbor down the block just asked for. So this is for a thunder laser. And basically what these do is you push the pin down into the hole of the honeycomb, and the curved end on it locks down at an angle and holds the wood better than any magnet possibly can. So they're actually called bench dogs. So you woodworkers know what they are. You know, they're used in a bench, and it's a piece of steel that's made like that with the curved top. When you push it down, it'll lock into the hole in your bench. That's why the workbenches have all those holes in them. So in case you wonder, they're called bench dogs.
Chad asked, I think it was Chad, if I had that for sale. And yes, that earring file, there it is. Thanks, Patrick.
Well,
He can find it.
Well, I've actually just got a photograph on my desktop that I was trying to share my desktop and I screwed up. But Chad, that file is on that hobowithwood.com. I've got a few things on Etsy, but I'm trying to get everything that's on Etsy is already on Hobo with Wood.
Yeah, that's a good idea to get away from Etsy. Etsy is nothing but a race to the bottom when it comes to profit.
Yeah, and the I've seen this design. I'm drawing a blank now. One of our viewers reached out to me because he bought a design similar to this earring stand, and he was having problems getting slots to resize correctly. And so he sent me the file he had, and I started looking at it, and it would not work. Everything was just really screwed up about it. So I went in and drew this out complete from scratch, and resizing slots works flawlessly. There is which video? On the hobowithwood.com, I have a video showing how everything's laid out, how I've got it nested together, eliminating cuts, overlapping cuts, and also how to resize the slots. If you've never used the resizing slots and tabs in LightBurn, I've got a very short, and I do mean short. It's not one of mine. Hey, this is going to be a short one and a half hour later. What the heck's wrong with it? This is just a couple of minutes, real fast, real quick, real short. How to do that resizing slots on that file. So Chad, jump over to hobowithwood.com. You can see that video, and maybe that'll work out great for you. Thank you for your support.
Jim's
There you
asking
go.
you a question, Patrick.
okay.
He said he's asking when trying to get colors on stainless or business cards, it comes down to frequency, or is it the combination of all three, power, speed, and frequency?
Depends on the material. When it comes to aluminum, the aluminum and brass in particular, the line interval is probably most important. Stainless, it's going to depend, probably a combination of all three, in my experience.
Yeah.
How much power you're putting into it, depending on what color forms. And then
same thing with other metals like titanium, and
Yep. And then another variable would be, if you have a MOPA laser, would be the pulse width, which that would be Geo's area of expertise there.
So Geo, on the MOPA laser, how do you get the different colors?
My personal favorite way to do it is to go with the lower frequency and cut the Q pulse or the pulse width way back. That way you're doing more of a heat of the material. But I found that once you kind of get that setting that gives you a color, changing the frequency, the speed, or the line interval, so basically changing how many pulses hit in a given area, really changes the color more than anything else.
Right. Okay. Well, that answers that question. Sharon is asking, can the files be able to be sold as kits? Well, you can do like this week. This is the flat pack that I'm going to be doing. Basically, this is a flat pack, and yes, you can sell them as kits. It's a very popular way to sell them. Lots of people do this on Etsy. These are going to be the free giveaways this week, but yeah, you can sell them as kits. So that's the perfect way to make money in a small business. And you should do like Steve did. For $1, you can pick up your own website today, $1 or $2. Your website address, do a quick builder, do a Shopify website. You can do a Squarespace website for free. you know, and just they get a little bit of the profits. But yeah, that's the best way to do it is your own website, and then you know just announce it on social media. So what is Larry? Is it a Sculpfun S9 with air assist, enclosure, smoke exhaust, and scrubber? How often do you think I should give the laser module a good cleaning? It's every few days is a good way to do it. I personally clean my lasers at the end of every day, the ones that I use. I clean the lens. I clean everything inside. I want to make sure that everything is completely dust free. I have a little vacuum cleaner somewhere, not handy at the moment, but it is a little portable battery operated vacuum cleaner that I clean it with. And then I just use some alcohol. I have a, what is this? Cactus juice. So I use cactus juice disinfectant. It's 70% alcohol. And I clean the whole inside of the machine. I also have some acrylic cleaner that I clean the outside of that machine with, and anything that's acrylic. I clean the lens. The rule of thumb is typically a work week. So a 40-hour work week, which I don't agree with. You know, that's the rule of thumb. That's how often you should be cleaning your laser. I don't agree with that. I do it every day at the end of the day. Sometimes some people say that that's overkill, but you know what? I've never had a cracked lens or any kind of problems with my lasers.
It depends on the hours it's used. You know, instead of 40 hours, yeah.
And the material.
Yeah, and the material. But you know, for me, I might get 40 hours in 3 days. You know, but
well,
I'm
you
like,
see, and then
I clean mine every day.
Just and then going a step further is like Jack in the shop is doing a painted canvas today, the one that caught fire. Sorry about that, Jack. But painted canvas or anything that's painted, that at the end of the day, you're going to be cleaning your lens. I actually cracked the lens. I did crack a lens once on an Xtool, and it was part the tool's fault and part my fault. I was doing painted wood, and I only did 2 pieces, and the lens cracked. So that's how much, because on the Xtool, the original D1, the air assist created a Venturi effect and sucked smoke back up. And, you know, I didn't even get through 2 pieces of that project and the lens cracked. So it depends on your machine. Most machines are not going to do that. But if you're doing something that's painted, you're going to want to do it at the end of the job or at the end of the day.
You definitely want to do it before you try and run something else and bake it in.
Absolutely.
So this is one of the mirrors that I pulled off. This is after I've tried cleaning it with alcohol, off this machine behind me. You can see it's fogged over. I cannot clean it. I would literally have to scrub it. Yeah, it's trash.
Yeah, you couldn't even scrub it. The coating on that mirror is in the tens of thousands of millimeters, and if you start scrubbing it, you're going to scrub the coating off, and that mirror is just plain trash.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's an example of somebody that the person that he bought that laser from did not take care of it. So, which we kind of figured because he burnt up one of the mirror holders. So we already knew that.
Jim's got a question that's going to address something that you've made a comment about, Rich. He says he's unable to get his OLM3 to fire when framing. In his device settings, both enable laser fire button and the laser on when framing are enabled. Now, you made a comment, Rich, in one of your videos that it is no longer necessary to shut down LightBurn and reboot it after you turn those on. But
well, it depends.
I said I just had an issue the other day where I had to do that, and I said, "Well, I'm going to see if Richard." But no, in order for me to get that to work, I had to shut it down and bring it back up to get it to work. Yeah. So
a lot of people have to do that. So LightBurn depends on memory, and it allocates a portion of memory from your computer. And if you don't have enough available memory at the time, it will not automatically set those changes. But you will have to shut down LightBurn and restart it. But if you've just restarted your computer, you shouldn't have that issue with memory if you don't have a whole bunch of stuff running. You know,
So,
if you have 14 tabs of Chrome and, you know, you've got other programs and LightBurn and other things going on, well, then it may not work. But
So, Jim,
if you have enough memory, it should be fine.
Yeah, you've got them on turned on there, Jim. If you have not closed the LightBurn, try that and see if that doesn't get it to work. Because I have run into that where they're both on, it should be working, but no, shut it down.
Okay, so there is another issue with Windows. He probably has a Windows computer, and if you have any Windows updates that are pending, that are not installed, but Windows has downloaded them and they're ready to be installed, you'll see the little message down by your clock. It does disable several of the features in LightBurn because LightBurn requests to have access to things on the internet that people don't realize. And it works in different modes. If you're connected to the internet, it works in one mode. If you're not, it works in another. You don't know that. But if you're connected to the internet and you have updates pending, there are some things in LightBurn that won't work until you do the updates in Windows and restart your computer. So that is another issue that could be the possible problem there as well.
So make sure your Windows are up to date, and then shut down, reboot, power everything up, and see if that don't fix it. Now you mentioned earlier, both of you guys have mentioned the LaserCon for LightBurn. What do you
Yes.
do? Either of you have a date or any details or web information or that you can put in comments about when that is?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
it is,
drop a link.
If you can share that link in comments, I'd appreciate it because I haven't seen that just until y'all mentioned it. That would be a good opportunity for me. So I am Hobo with Wood, and for y'all that don't know, Hobo is because I am a hobo. I live in an RV. So that would be a great opportunity to pack up the RV and head to Illinois and hang out with a bunch of laser fanatics.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. Yeah. I think I'm going to be going. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going.
Well, I might still go.
Perfect.
All right. So is
That's
there
awesome.
a reliable brand that has multiple types of lasers and good customer support? That's a hard question to answer. The only company the best support company that I know is this laser right behind me, the Rolly laser, because you can actually call them and they answer the phone at night, and you can email and they'll answer you the same day. There is no multiple types of lasers and good. I'm guessing that you want to have multiple heads that you can change out. You know, there's a couple of them like that, but when it comes to support, there are very few companies that you have to pay for support. So if you buy a Trotec or, you know, Thunder or, you know, Aeon or any of those brands, you have great support, but they're usually just single types of laser. I don't know what multiple types of lasers actually means, unless you're talking about that they have different types like fiber, CO2, you know, things like that. But yeah, I don't know of really any company unless you're willing to pay the retail. And that's the difference in price is usually some quality in different parts and support. So that's why you'll pay 10,000 instead of 3,000 for an 80-watt laser.
All right. This I was doing this today. V Rich asked about, where did she go? Not that one.
This one?
All right. Who's?
Is that the one?
I think so. But yeah, actually, you open up a second version of LightBurn.
Yeah.
And I was running my CO2 and the diode simultaneously, and I was toggling back and forth without any issues. And yeah, you can run multiple lasers, multiple jobs at the same time, but you actually open up a version or a separate LightBurn for each one.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it can be multiple. So I've had as many as 3 Well, in the other shop, we have four diodes that all run on the same copy of LightBurn, but that is a high-end laptop that's running it. So it has 32 gigs of memory, and it has a Intel, one of the latest 9000 series, X series processors, and it can run quite a few. So depending on the computer that you have, if you have a decent computer, yeah, you can run as many. I've run as many as 4. I don't know how many copies you can run, but I know for a fact that you can run 4 of them on the same machine. Jesse said that he means fiber, CO2, diode, etc. Okay, so I don't know of any company that has that combination, fiber, CO2, and diode lasers. Xtool does. They don't have fiber. They have the 1064, toy laser. But I don't recommend Xtool products to anybody. I wouldn't recommend them to my enemy. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know of anyone that has that combination.
And I know that there are a lot of our viewers who have Xtool and they've had good success with it, and bless you, good.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that but that was the most horrible experience I've ever had, and I hate that, because right now it's the only rotary I've got, so I haven't been able to do much with rotary in a while. But yeah.
But if you're going to do one-offs on an Xtool, and you're going to do everything from the middle of the bed, every piece is a single piece, and you'll be fine. And lots of people love them that use it that way. But when you use it with LightBurn and you use the advanced features of LightBurn, it does run into a lot of problems, and that's because of their proprietary G code, their proprietary software on the EEPROM of the machine. So they don't allow access to a lot of the features in LightBurn, and that's why I don't recommend them. But if you're going to use their software or whatever, it works fine. It's not a problem. But for advanced users and for shop owners, craft stores and things like that, I would suggest that you get a laser that is tried and true, tested, and works well. This little 10-watt Lasermatic 10 behind me is one of the best lasers I've ever tested with the best support. I would go.
It's a deal. The price, whatever you get, that is a deal.
I would go with that as far as the diode is concerned, and I would go with the GWiki as far as if you want a desktop CO2. I'll show you that GWiki right there. That is a superb $3,000 CO2 12 by 24. Everything's built in. There's no external anything. It has a really powerful fan. Comes with a 6-inch booster fan. All the pipe, everything is in the box when you get it. It's $3,000. That's what I would go for a desktop CO2. And really, when it comes to a fiber, you have to do your research on the fiber and find out what you want. Do you want a Rakis source? Do you want a JPT source? There are several different sources that you can choose from. You can get a MOPA. Gio, tell us about all the fiber lasers.
Yeah, there's, as far as like sources, there's Max, there's Rakis. Those are both their Q switches. You got JPT, which there's 2 versions of JPT. There's the fixed pulse width MOPA, and then there's a variable pulse width MOPA, which is the M series.
Right. So you've done your research. What would you recommend to somebody getting into a fiber laser?
It really depends on what you want to do. If you're wanting to etch metal, I think a Rakis source is.
I want to do everything.
Yeah, everyone
I'm
does,
just
right?
getting into it. I'm brand new. I want to do everything. What should I get? What do you think?
Honestly, if you're just getting into it, I think a Rakis source is a great start. If you want to do like a 30-watt, 50-watt Rakis, if you want to do the deep etch, going into like a 50-watt JPT, which is a fixed pulse width, that's actually a really good source. It has a little bit more punch per pulse. And if you You can do some colors. It's a little bit more difficult, but with the JPT, you have a higher frequency range, so you can get
Right.
some of those colors on stainless
Yeah.
that you can't necessarily do with a Raycus because the frequency range is capped at a lower rate.
Right.
And if you want to go full out, I mean, an M series MOPA has a ton of power for deep etching. It gives you a lot of control for the softer marks, color marks, as well as working on like plastics and more delicate materials with being able to dial back the power with the Q pulse.
Right. Okay. I personally, if you're brand new to fiber lasers, I personally would go with either a 20 watt or a 30 watt Raycus source. So that's my opinion, because you're gonna have a steep learning curve. It's going to take you a long time to learn it. I would recommend either a 20 or 30 watt. The 30 watt is much more powerful than the 20 watt. It's not like it sounds, just 10 watts doesn't make a big difference. There's a huge difference between the 20 and the 30 and the 30 and the 50 and so on. But I would start personally myself with the 20 watt. That was my first fiber laser. Then I got a 50, and now I have a 100 watt JPT. But I started with the 20, and even now, most of the work that I do on the fiber, I go straight to the 20. So great. It's a great little tool for working with fiber lasers, and that was my choice, and I think it was a good choice.
We got.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Everything I've done on my channel, if you saw videos or any of my shorts or everything, was primarily for August, was primarily with the JPT 50 watt. And then since I got the newer laser Raycus Source 50 watt, I've tried to use it almost exclusively. So pretty much everything since probably September moving forward, I've done with the 50 watt Raycus. So all the some of the various collars and all these pictures and everything else I've done. FYI.
Yeah. Okay.
Raycus, I know people talk down about the Raycus source, but it really is a good source. And
It is.
Like you were saying, Rich, for simplicity, someone that's really brand new, I jumped in MOPA first, not knowing what I was doing, and honestly, it was a little confusing. And having a regular Q switch or a fixed pulse width MOPA, like the JPTs, I think is a great option because it takes that one variable away, so you can learn the first 3 or 4 things that you really need to know first, and then later, if you want to upgrade, you can jump into the MOPA and figure out that.
Yeah, and Gio, the only reason why Raycus has a bad rep is because of a few years ago when they were producing, garbage products. So they've come a long way in the last 4 years, and you'll get a dependable product now. 3 or 4 years ago, it was kind of questionable, and they got a bad rep, which they deserved. But nowadays, it's a quality product, so you're not going to have any problems with it. And all of the complaints that you've heard in the past are on their 3 or 4 year old machines. So you don't hear any complaints on the newer machines on the Raycus source.
Yeah, I've heard of very few issues with the actual sources. More of like power supplies, but even that's really rare.
The power supplies, and that is one particular factory, as I understand it. So there are only about 3 or 4 factories that are putting out these fiber lasers, and they're putting them out under different brand names. Right. I don't know why, but there are only like 3 or 4 of those factories in China that are making them.
So there's just a little bit of collar experimenting I was doing, and that's a 50 watt Raycus.
Mm-hmm.
It's a deeper etch on mild steel.
So there you go. But like I said, my
gold
20 watt,
silvers.
I revert to that 20 watt quite a bit for most of my small projects, that I do, because it just works. I mean, it takes a lot longer than the others, but it just works for me, and it's in the air conditioned office. So that's another reason why. But so anything, if I were new, I would start with a 20 or 30 or 50 watt. Raycus source because they are the cheapest, and you can do lots and lots of stuff. The only videos I have on my channel are from that one where I recorded them in that office. And you can see all the different colors I got on the aluminum business cards. And I mean, it really is a good machine for a starter machine. And when you're ready and when you have that, $10,000 to spend on the 100-watt JPT MOPA, then you might want to move up once you've gone through the learning curve. But I've found that a lot of things, learning curve is important to attention span. So there are a lot of things that I want to learn, but my attention span, and this is especially true in CAD, my attention span is not long enough to learn them. So I put it on the side. So you don't want to put a $10,000 laser off on the side. You want to start with something small and inexpensive.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, one of my last videos, my comments, I called everybody out and said, "Yeah, you're going to hit me up with complaints about it not working because you got the attention span of a gnat.
Yeah.
You jump around through the video and you miss 2 or 3 crucial pieces because you've got the attention span of a gnat."
Yeah.
So, it can be tough sometimes.
Now, I'm not sure, Brian, about the Atomstack fiber. Now, with the fiber laser, you need to have all of the windings, and you need to have the different, you need to have the different diodes. And I'm pretty sure that the Atomstack, I think that's the M1 or the M4, whatever it is. Patrick, can you look that up real quick? I'm pretty sure that that's just a single 1064 diode, if I'm not mistaken. Right. I'm not absolutely sure, but without all of those windings of the fiber and your different types of diodes that are in there, it's not really a fiber laser. I know they're calling it a fiber laser. So have you found anything on that, Patrick?
He commented this is the M4.
Yeah, I thought it was the M4. Yeah, there it is. So they call it a fiber laser, but I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's even large enough to be a fiber laser.
Yeah, because I mean the definition of the fiber is because it's a fiber optic cable that it's going through.
Right. But it's a little short cable, and I believe it's one diode.
Yeah, it looks like a 1064 diode.
Yeah.
So it's the same pulse width or wavelength as a fiber, so you get a similar result, but it's not a true fiber.
Well,
that's why it's such a low wattage.
Yeah, without the different diodes, you can't control the frequency, or the control board is not advanced. It's a $1,300, fiber-like laser. It should probably say fiber-like. Even though it does have one fiber in it.
70 by 70.
Yeah.
What's that?
And it's
70 by 70.
70 by 70. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's using ScanCAD. So I don't believe
you can't even do a coaster. Yeah, no, that's not compatible with LightBurn. You can't even do a coaster on 3.5 inches?
No, 75 would be 3 inches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less than 3 inches.
So that's even less than 3 inches. So you can't even do a coaster with that. I would stay away from that.
It's cute, but no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cute.
Well, every week we have questions about cameras, and there's several questions in here about cameras, about which is the best camera and which is the best height. I think, aren't all those questions answered in the camera setup in LightBurn?
Yes, they are. So to get the answer to your question, the answer to your question depends on a couple of things. It depends on how high you're going to mount the camera. There's a minimum height for every different lens. So if you have a 5 megapixel, it might be a 12-inch minimum, 12-inch and up. If you have a 7 megapixel, it might be 15 inches and up. So in LightBurn, if you go to help and then click on camera selection help, then you look for the distance. Now you put in the size of your work bed, okay? And you have to know your distance where you're going to mount the camera. If you're going to mount it at 10 inches, it will tell you which camera to buy, how many megapixels, what the angles should be, whether it's a fisheye or a normal lens. So let LightBurn tell you that. We can't answer that question for you. You have to actually let LightBurn do that. I think
Patrick's got it
Patrick
there.
bringing up the there you go, right there. So in there you can see at the very top you put in your bed size, and then all of the selections underneath that will tell you the height that you got to pick, the height that you're going to be mounting the camera at, the minimum height. And then it'll tell you on the left what camera to buy and what field of view, how many degrees, and so on, and how many megapixels. That's where you find out how to pick a camera for LightBurn. Now you can use any camera at any height, but the difference is that it won't be accurate. If you choose it from here, it will be 99% accurate.
Right now, I have an autofocus generic USB webcam on my laser, which, let's see. As you can see there, that's
Well, you can tell Steve's with us.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's the view from above.
Yeah.
And then lock this back and update the overlay. And there's the view of the bed with the camera.
Hey, Patrick, if you could really quickly update that form for me, because we're about to run over to the wheel of names.
Okay, will do right now.
So in case you don't know, Steve lives in the hood, and every time I talk to him, there's always sirens blaring in the background.
It's either sirens, dirt bikes. There goes another one. Mufflers are a real luxury where I live. Most vehicles go by straight exhaust. It's fun.
So we have another question about the fiber laser. I see 30 watt or 50 watt split fiber laser. What does split mean? Two sources. There you go, Gio. There's one for you.
So split is where the scan head is separate from the source. So you end up having it's like an umbilical cable that holds the fiber optic cable and goes between it looks like a computer case that's super heavy, and then over to the arm that holds the actual computer head.
Right.
Something that's not split would be like Patrick's. I think that's what he's showing there. It's all built into one unit, so the power supply is actually inside the base. It's all one
power supply.
Piece.
Right. See, mine is a split unit, and I've got the like what Gio said. It looks like a computer that's under the table, and the fiber laser is just the stand, and of course the source is in there too. But the control board, the power supply, everything is down below. All right, so let's see. Let me know when you're done with that document, Patrick. Did you have anything to add?
Nope, that is it.
That's it. Okay, so let me put those in the spin the wheel. And all I have to do now is, so we're going to take one name out, the winner as we go. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer 5 flat packs today. So let me go back and just show you that once again. So this is a flat pack right here. And this is, if I can get them all together. So last minute, quickly, if you want to donate something, even $1 on the PayPal, excuse me. This is the flat pack, 5 layers, country scene, wolf howling at the moon. This I sell for $8 for the file itself. I just put it up last week in my online store, engravingcutfiles.com. Now I am going to, let's see, I'm going to switch over to the spin the wheel. We're going to wait 1 more minute for any donations that might come in from PayPal. The address is across the bottom of the screen there, paypal.me/LMR donations. And we'll just wait 1 more minute. And Patrick, if you could just refresh and let me know if anything new comes in that I should add to the list.
Let's see. Refreshing again now. Nothing new.
All right, so here we go. So now I have to, we're going to do our first spin for the first flat pack. Here we go. Patrick, can you keep a record of this?
Yes, I can.
All right, so there is our first winner, Daniel Sculpfun. Daniel, if you send your address to Patrick, we're going to get you out a flat pack of the Wolf Howlin' at the Moon. And here we go with the second spin. Here we go. I don't know who that's going to be. Harry Franco. Congratulations, Harry Franco. You're getting a flat pack in the mail. Okay, and here we go with the third spin. Is that Richard? It sure is. Richard Herring. And we'll do a fourth spin. And that is Sharon Simonson. Got that, Patrick?
Yep.
All right. And finally, last spin. Oh, how come nobody's doing a drum roll this week? Here we go with the last spin.
Oh, getting close.
And
Yeah.
that is Merrill. 2
Also
weeks in a
known-
row.
Also known as Carl.
Also known as Carl.
He prefers Carl.
There we go. So we have our 5 winners. Congratulations to the 5 winners. Thank you so much for being here. Before we go,
Jim Hamilton followed up, said that he has his Windows up to date. He has rebooted LightBurn. It's still not firing. So I've got a question. Is he using a PC or is he using a laptop? Because I've found a lot of problems when I was using my laptop. Once I got me a true PC with really good graphics cards, a lot of my issues went away. I was dropping USBs. I was having all kinds of headaches and nightmares. Layers not working. All kinds of stuff just dropping out. And as soon as I got rid of the laptop and got a good PC, and he says he's using a laptop. So
laptops have their own set of problems with LightBurn.
Yeah.
And I don't suggest using a laptop with LightBurn unless it's a high-end laptop and unless it has a lot of memory. It's usually a memory issue that causes all of the little problems. That sounds like, to me...
Yeah, he says his is a cheap one, too. There's your problem.
Yeah, so...
I know you didn't want to hear that.
That's probably going to be your issue. But if you still have issues where you can't get it resolved, you can go to ortur.tech and open a ticket there. And my friend Jill is very good at answering tickets. He's in Spain. He's Ortur's tech support, some of the best tech support around. He will answer you within 24 hours and tell you the resolve. There's probably just a code you need to put into your console to get that working that you may not have. You may need to update the firmware. I'd probably go with updating the firmware first. That can never hurt, and it's easy to do on the LaserMaster 3. So before we go, anything else that anybody wants to talk about?
I don't think so.
I think
I'll take that as a no.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to have these the flat packs are going to go out either Monday or Tuesday, depending on when I get the addresses. The other projects that I've shown today, including the boxes for coasters, that's something that I don't know if I talked about that a whole lot. I talked about it a little bit, but let me just show you again. Let me see. I have back there. A lot of people make coasters and they wonder how to distribute them. They tie them up with pretty little ties and things like that. It's nicer if you make your own box and put your own graphics on it. So I've designed several different boxes for 4 coasters, 8 coasters, 9 coasters, all 4-inch coasters, and I will have those plans up on the Laser Makers Realm sometime this week for a free download. And I'll probably also be doing a video on that on my channel and have the free download there as well. So with that said, I want to thank you, everybody. Gio, thank you. Patrick, thank you for being here. Steve, Hobo with Wood. Don't forget to check out his new website, hobowithwood.com. Don't forget to check out my graphics website if you want to buy the 10-watt library or any type of graphics, engraveandcutfiles.com. And don't forget to check out Patrick's website, lightsource.pro. Is that right, Patrick?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so with that said, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank you all for stopping in and joining us. Please remember to like and subscribe and share this video. Up at the top, there's a link. Share this video with your friends on social media that are into laser engraving. And we're happy that you came, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.